There are new polls that show Bernie Sanders just like skyrocketing into a lead. Some polls show him skyrocketing into a lead in Iowa, which I guess is only a week away, right? It's like 8 days. And Sanders now holds leads in several polls over Joe Biden. And, you know, I wrote a piece about this over the weekend, a column on Daily Wire, saying that Bernie Sanders has had 3 scandals in the last week and a half, as opposed to Trump's fake scandal that is making so much news. But, you know, we've played those videos that Project Veritas put out of field organizers for Bernie saying these horrifying things about putting people in gulags, and the gulags weren't so bad and the Soviet Union was so great and all this stuff. And the reason that I talk about that is 3 scandals. The first scandal is those guys are representative of Bernie Sanders. Sanders has been he says, oh, I'm a democratic socialist, but he's been a communist, and being a democratic socialist means nothing. As Ayn Rand once said, it's the difference between murder and suicide. You still wind up with your freedom gone. He has said all these things about dictators like Castro and the guys in Nicaragua supporting them. He honeymooned in the Soviet Union. The guy's a stone communist. And these people saying these horrible things about doing violence to our country in the name of communism, they represent something in Bernie Sanders quite fairly. They really do. The second scandal of this is that the press didn't cover the first scandal. The fact that our press is even though the press wants to destroy Bernie Sanders, they don't want to destroy his leftism. They want to destroy Bernie Sanders because they think he'll lose, but they don't want to destroy his leftism. He is selling what they're selling. The press is selling socialism. They don't know what it is. They're so stupid at this point and so sequestered from any common sense and from anybody who disagrees with them. They really don't know what they're talking about, but they're still selling it, so they will not cover this Project Veritas legitimate scandal. Not everything Project Veritas gets is good. They're gadflies. They're out there making trouble, which is great. But this is a genuine scandal. But the third scandal is that young people love Bernie. He got more young people's votes than Trump and Hillary combined in the last election. If young people are not as strong for him this time, it's only because other candidates among the Democrats have followed his lead and gone as far left as he is.
Elizabeth Warren, who Pocahontas?
So I didn't mention her name, but the kids have gone off to be with them, to follow them as well. And that's a scandal because it means our universities are teaching them trash. They are teaching them trash. They're teaching them to hate the greatest country on earth. They're teaching them to hate their own freedom. They are training them into slavery. Norah O'Donnell. Obviously, the press is no friend to Bernie at this point. They want to undermine him, too, because they don't think he can win. So Norah O'Donnell, who is basically a left-wing hack, like most of the people on the networks at this point, is interviewing Bernie. Listen to this.
Our self-proclaimed socialist.
Democratic, put in there, please.
Thank you. Your agenda has promised free health care for everybody, free college tuition, and to pay off people's college loans. The price tag for that is estimated to be $60 trillion over 10 years, correct?
Well, look, we have political opponents.
You don't know.
Come up.
You don't know how much your plan costs?
You don't know. Nobody knows. This is impossible.
You're going to propose a plan to the American people and you're not going to tell them how much it costs?
Of course I will.
But he never does. He not only never does, he doesn't really propose plans that you can follow, that you can calculate what he's talking about, because he knows that it's all imaginary. He knows that that's how Elizabeth Warren screwed herself. That is how Elizabeth Warren screwed herself. She didn't screw herself by lying about being Pocahontas. She didn't screw herself by lying about her parents or lying about why she got fired from her job. That didn't stop her. What stopped her was when she told the truth about what her policy actually was and how it was going to be paid for, because it made no sense.
Look at her cheekbones.
Bernie never, man, look at Bernie's cheekbones. He never makes that mistake. Bernie never makes the mistake of being specific, because socialism always destroys everything. And he's not talking about how much it'll cost, because it's like the Green New Deal. It would basically send us back to the Stone Age. It's a scandal Michael Moore got up and gave a speech at a Bernie rally. And it is a scandal that people cheer for this kind of open garbage. Okay, listen to Michael Moore.
I am sick and tired of hearing this, that we live in the land of the free, that this is a democracy. First of all, do you have any friends in another country or even Canada where you try to explain to them? Where you try to explain to them that the person who gets the most votes in the democracy doesn't necessarily win? Nobody understands that. No, we need to make so many changes, because it's not just enough for it to be a political democracy. When we get that part of it fixed, the Electoral College gone,
Look, here's the deal. Get your words straight, Jack.
So he's talking about getting rid of the Electoral College. We're not a democracy, we're a republic. We're a democratic republic. We are a federation of states, the United States. We never wanted, ever, our country to be controlled by Washington, D.C. We want it controlled in localities where people have greater control over the levers of power. That was the whole point of the country. The whole point of the country is your freedom, not Michael Moore's freedom to make his stupid movies that have made him a multi-millionaire who treats the workers around him like trash. Not that freedom, your freedom to do and say what you want. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Andrew Klavan Show. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date on all our future content.